What did you say?
I need to just quote the "Why are you gay?" scene again.
Tell me now. Why are you gay? May I call you Mister? Mister? Who said I am gay? You are gay. Tangerine, Fall Guys. As that meme's up there with the legendary man falls off chair. That's gotta be up there. Legendary meme playlist. Anyway, first game we're looking at is Fall Guys, and if this is actually the Fall Guys beta, and if I was gonna talk about this when I recorded it like a few weeks ago, you'd be saying, Joe, what the fuck is Fall Guys? But now it's like, I feel like it's the most popular game in the world, so...
Yeah. It's the next Fortnite, you could say.
I want to show you how like quick it took me to get into a game in case it was dead on launch.
Oh, okay,
this
right,
is like,
so that's what you're showing.
But this isn't. This is a beta, so there's way less people, and that was really quick. So...
It's quite an exciting loading screen as well, or a
I love the music to this. The music to this is amazing as well. The whole time just watching.
Of, like,
go on.
I was saying, I can't remember, like not quite Nintendo, like its own spin on it. Sort of
yeah,
thing.
It has
like,
a very
sort of,
big like party game sort of thing.
Yeah, it has like power behind it.
Just watching me play that now just makes me want to play. This game's amazing. It's just, it's hard to quantify in words why it's so much fun, but it's just, I don't know, it's just really fun, and it's one of those games where it's competitive, but it's also really. It's not like I'm not angry anytime I lose, sort of thing.
It's fun all the way through.
Was it they like I was reading an article with the developers of Fall Guys, and they were saying like they're like the way they want to develop the game is they want it to be 50% skill, 50% luck. That's what they're looking for.
That.
Like they want the 50-50.
I like that.
This is my before you flame me. The game was in beta, and this is my first ever game ever. So there's a reason
You're doing pretty well up until that point.
There's a reason I just absolutely wrecked there. So
Some points.
I thought I'd leave in like just showing you how easy it was. Once you get eliminated from a game to get into another game, it's like 30 seconds. Like it's so quick, and that's another reason why it's like you forgive losses so much more, because as soon as you get out of a game, you're in a game again, sort of thing. Like this was during the beta sort of thing, so it's like a little bit longer, but like there's 2 million players on, and I think it's like free on PlayStation now as PlayStation Plus.
Oh, it comes with it. Yeah.
So that's another reason. Like if you have a PS4, you should definitely be playing this game because it's completely free on PS4. And when I was playing it with a controller anyway, because I think that's, at least from what I tried, was the preferred way to play. So, not to say there's pretty simple. Your only real controls are you have jump, grab, and dive. Those are your controls. Okay. So you can actually grab other people, and you can grab ledges and pull yourself up like I was here. So one thing I'll say about the fan map is the middle's a scam. Never go for the middle, but this is my first time on the fan map, so I don't know the middle. It's a scam.
Why is the middle a scam?
Because it's like super RNG.
Oh.
So it's like a lot of maps have this, but they'll have like an area that's like way quicker if you can make it. But if you can't make it, you lose loads of times. It's like there's lots of stuff that's super risk reward. So yeah.
Oh my god!
In my beta testing, I don't think I ever won a game. I don't even know if I got past like round 3. I was like, shit, I got to jump there, sort of thing. So the way it works is there's 60 people in every game, and then only a certain amount of people can qualify. And then you have different events like so this one just has a soft qualification sort of thing. So you can't fail until enough people have passed through. But then there's other maps. I think I played it on here. There's like the slime map, and what happens on the slime map is it's like a lava level where there's lava coming up behind you, but except for lava, it's slime, obviously, because it's like a game show. And if you go into the slime, you're out of the game, no matter what. Like only a certain amount of people can qualify, but there's also if you fall in the slime, so if you fall off the course once, you're out of the game, sort of thing. But there's tons of maps, and they literally just added like a new map from the beta, sort of thing.
Why wasn't it in the full game and release? It was in the beta.
I guess it was a test. I guess maybe they wanted to hold back they wanted to polish the map before they released it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Was it someone was saying this is a Zoomer game, so and in order to keep Zoomers' minds occupied, you have to be constantly releasing updates like Fortnite does. If they want to keep all the Zoomers playing, they just got to keep releasing maps like every couple of weeks, like Fortnite releases updates. But we'll have to see. Like I think post launch support's going to be a big thing. They're definitely adding tons of costumes. Because they had you'll probably see in this video, but people have pre-ordered the game. Can you see the Gordon Freeman outfit with the head crab hat on in front of me, and to the left of me there? And then they just added the scout outfit from TF2. They're adding the bullet from Enter the Gungeon, which is another Devolver Digital published game. Again, Tony, Devolver Digital once again.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like this is probably Devolver's biggest hit. This is one of their published games for sure. Like, I don't know if you were hedging your bets, I don't think you would put many eggs into the Fall Guys basket.
No, I wouldn't.
If you looked at like their lineup from the Devolver Digital press conference, you hate to see it when you're like. So sometimes you get in a game and it's like 45 out of 16, you're like 46th place, and you're like, fuck me. I tell you who's great to watch play. Sips is like a Fall Guys streamer now, and it's amazing to watch that.
He's a pro.
You can also queue up with, I think, up to 4 people.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So you can play with other people as well, so it's a fun game to play with friends.
Yeah.
And if one of you gets eliminated, then the rest keep playing. Like you're in like a soft team. But I think because there is team events, so there are some maps where you'll get put onto teams and you'll play like football and stuff. Seesaw is another great one where you have to cooperate with your enemies to make it through the level, but nobody does, so it just turns into absolute fucking chaos. Seesaws is like the human condition experiment.
Competition.
This map's great. I think it's probably one of the most frustrating ones to play because nobody's on a team, but it requires teamwork almost. Yeah. It's great.
So they get more or less fun to play though.
Everyone's at the bottom. It's like, no, we need people at the top. Fuck. You gotta balance the seesaws.
Oh my god. This is great. There's also like a positive feedback loop. Oh
I like that there's these little like blue checkpoint pads, so you know when you get a checkpoint and like you don't have to rerun the entire map again, because that would be kind of
yeah. I think checkpoints are overlooked in a lot of games.
But then there's like, look at this double seesaw, and I'm like, he's fucked. This is just this one green guy in it, fucking it. And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the dying to save themselves.
But what was I saying? They said they are looking into more ways for you to win as a team when it comes to like playing and queuing up with your friends, sort of thing.
Oh right, okay.
So I think that'll be interesting to see how this guy's just. As I said, fuck green.
That's actually the same guy.
The thing is, that stuff's frustrating when somebody's like just grabbing people, but like he's not gonna win either. So all he's doing is stopping you and himself.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But it gets really crazy when you have like people streaming this game and there's like 50 stream snipers just pulling Forsen down or something. That's when it gets like pretty, you know, that's funny to watch, but
still not for me. I don't really like
this. This is back in the beta when people were allowed to have names, Tony, because now everyone appears as Fall Guy 125 or something, because apparently there was an exploit where people were able to change their name and they couldn't be banned or something like that or something. I don't quite know what the exploit was, but there was some exploit with names, so now everyone's like anonymous. I think it's kind of a shame, but cause it's always funny to see. Because there's a button to turn names on and off, so you could always be like, "Oh, Mr. Poopy Butt just grabbed me and knocked me off the edge." That was kind of funny, right? I do think they lost a little bit there, but I can't believe that's one of the most shocking things to me. There's people who hack in Fall Guys. Like, can you imagine being so bad at games that you had to cheat in a fucking party arcade game?
Yeah, that's very crazy to me.
And look at 38 out of 39, 40th place. You hate to see it.
Also, that green guy tried to grab you again. I don't know if you saw that.
Motherfucker. Green, what's your problem, Green? What's your problem, Green? What you say?
See, the 4 games, 4 losses. So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, first round out, that's a loss. If I get to second round, that's a dub. As they call it in the business, a W.
A dab. A dab.
A dab. Oh, this gate crash is pretty cool. This is one of my more favorite maps. More favorite because it's good. It's like timing to get through the gates before they come up.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I'm like, I probably make it, and I'm like, wait. By the time I get here, it'll be down again. That's the 5-head strat. These are completely random, and they go like up and down, like just randomly. So those ones are like you can't time. They're just like fuck.
I like how they put timed ones then followed by random ones.
And then here's the slime jump that you have to time, and I'm like,
oh no, oh god,
fuck. I thought by the time I slid down, it might have opened. Like I was trying to time it a little bit, but here should be good. Tony. Second. Oh, I'm getting grabbed! Fuck off!
That's a furry!
Yeah, there's loads of furries grabbing me down. Then I get to see what a round 2 game is like. You will get to see what a round 2 game
Finally.
is like. Finally.
That furry didn't make it though.
I like the way people get eliminated. It just pushes them off. Into like a pachinko machine.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
I mean, like, all the menus and the animations and the actual, like, sounds and stuff are all great. Like, they're so well designed.
Next up.
Oh, this is Rollout.
Rollout. Oh, yes. That's a classic one.
I think the rolling ones are a little bit weak. I think these ones are a bit too easy, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that some of the easier game modes, and they don't really eliminate that many people.
There's a lot of things to jump over and things, though.
Like the things spin and there's like it doesn't. This one should be a timed one maybe, and then but it's more like a. It keeps going until a certain amount of people are eliminated.
Well, you had like an outer ring that like knocked you, like a pole that an outer ring that knocks you off at a different speed to the inner ring.
How about laser beams? That you had to jump over, like
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine like a laser beam across the entire thing, so you had to constantly jump no matter where you were. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd fall in the slime.
Or and then like a pole you had to like duck under, or like to like skirt around or something. I don't know how you would duck in this game, but
I think the furry outfit's like a default outfit for the beta, which is why like loads of people are using it. I just had the pink love heart underwear. That was like. I wanted, and then I think it had a furry tail or something. I got a wolf tail on. Look how close I was to death. I actually thought I was dead here. Look, 15 out of 16, qualified.
Oh,
it was that close.
Yeah, you're about to die as well.
Yep. Let's get through to the next round. Okay, so this is slime climb. This is what I was talking about. So this is like the lava level. This is really cool.
Oh. Is there a pinball level in this?
No, there's no pinball
Oh,
level.
they're missing out on that one.
Tony, don't spoil.
I'll call him up.
Don't spoil future updates. Come on.
Season 3, yeah.
Sips is always tweeting at Fall Guys with new round ideas. He's the ideas man.
Okay.
I like how people have played this before. They know to like jump on the triangles to get up quicker, and then there's just me just like running through the actual course, not knowing the shortcuts yet. That's something cool. Like there is some skill in this game. Like once you run a course enough, you can actually like know where the shortcuts are, sort of thing. Don't actually know if I get, because there is like specific finale rounds to pick a winner where you have to get a crown. There's Chase the Tail, where one person gets the tail and it counts down from 2 minutes. It's like a game of tag, so every time you tag someone tags you, they get the tail, and then the person with the tail at the end wins after the 2 minutes is up.
Oh, okay.
There's one that's like Slime Climb, where there's just a crown at the end and the first person to grab it wins. And that's like the crown's like bobbing up and down, so you can miss your grab and you have to go through the course again, like some of the course again. The thing I think that made this game so popular as well, it's just great to watch, isn't it? And then I'm like, oh fuck, I fell in the slime. So there's me out of the game. Only 2 people qualified. I was near the front, but it's a brutal map. It's round 3, so as soon as you're out, you're out. Sort of thing, yeah. People just grabbing each other.
How colourful this game is though. I think that makes it even better to watch, just like the colour and the everything just pops.
Oh, so here's the football game mode.
Oh, okay.
Better than Rocket League game mode, I believe.
I'm sorry?
Because I wanted to spectate to show you what an end game looks like, so I'm just watching people play now. Because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to. I didn't have the skill or the luck to get through to a final round, so I was like, I'll just record other people in spectate mode when I die. It's great.
Sense.
Every time you score, the new ball drops, and then sometimes it's not a football. It's not a soccer ball, it's an American football. It just drops from the sky.
Okay.
And you have to try and get that in the goal. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
So is there always 2 balls in that?
Yeah. 2 balls always drop. As soon as one is scored, another one spawns. I think like people figured out like quickly that a really good strat is to just sit under where it spawns and just knock it in as soon as it drops down, and it's really hard to miss. If you just, because you can just bop it over people's head, and like that yellow guy just did. It's pretty easy to just like wait for it to spawn and immediately score, sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I actually thought that when the new ball spawned, it like create like a shockwave so everyone get knocked down in an area, so you couldn't do that.
No. I think the idea is you have like a kickoff sort of thing, where it's like beneficial to wait in the spawning area. Because you have to like divvy up your team by you might want some people in defense, you might want some people in the goal, you want some people ready to hit the ball in, but you also want some people chasing a ball that's already out to try and score that or defend that. And it's all like, it's just all teams on the fly sort of thing. Like from what I can tell, like I haven't played with a team, so I don't know how queuing up with teammates and getting this far, whether it would put you in a team against random people or not, or whether it would split you. I don't know. But yeah, the thing I love about this game, there's no voice chat and there's no text chat, because there doesn't need to be. Like a game like this, you don't need it. Like everything is like physical. Like I think there's emotes and that's about it. Like it's just a fun game. It's just a fun game.
Yeah, I mean.
So okay, so this is Chase the Tail. So you spawn with a tail, and then you have to run around this map without letting anyone else touch you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as they touch it, I think some people were doing the strat where they just went AFK for like a minute and a half, and then when 30 seconds came, they were just like ran at the person with the tail.
Good, it's a good strat.
Yeah, because then you don't have to like hold the tail. You can just wait and just follow someone around until they get the tail, and then just grab it from them at the last second, so they don't have time to grab it back. Oh, another final game mode. You know, I don't remember what it's called, but you remember that Minecraft game mode where you break blocks underneath people.
Oh, Spleef.
Spleef. They have. There's a Fall Guys version of this, and it's great.
Okay.
You just have a bunch of hexagons, and every time you stand on them after a couple of seconds, they disappear. So it's pretty much like Minecraft Spleef.
Yeah.
Well, I think what some people did was they would just... Some people would try and hold onto the top layer for the longest. Some people would just go down to the bottom layer and then just start removing as much of the bottom layer as they could, and then holding out on a small portion of the bottom layer. So if people started to fall down, they would like immediately fall into the slime and just win through the bottom layer. I mean, like, it's a fun game, but you can do interesting strategies as well, and that's what keeps it really fun. From everything I played and have seen on, like, it's super this game's super popular on Twitch as well. I've been watching tons of streams of this.
And it still is popular for after about a week now.
Can you believe it? Some guy grabs the tail at the last second, and he wins. It's as easy as that. Well, I've just showed 20 minutes footage of Fall Guys while talking about Fall Guys for 20 minutes. But yeah, that's Fall Guys.
Yeah, it does. Look great. So.
Looks really fun. Highly recommend it. But you didn't need to hear me say that because you already know.
Yeah.
Guys, probably. Tony, this is Torchlight, and it's quite an old game now. I'd say. I mean, I've been
very old, isn't it?
Yeah, 2000s or something. I can't really remember. It's an ARPG by Runic Games, I believe.
Yeah.
Am I singing? Have I got my microphone on?
Not possible.
Not possible. Okay, apparently I was recording my microphone as well. Maybe I'll do some more random singing. So you actually have to identify, like, when you get an item, you have to identify. Like, you do that in Diablo, but like it's like old school where you have to buy identification scrolls, and then you have to use those to identify magical items.
My understanding of this game, like, aren't the developers like ex-Blizzard, or at least
they're ex-Diablo? They're ex-Diablo developers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, hey, we want to make our own like Diablo style game, and they made Torchlight 1. And from everything I've played of it, I've actually finished the game now. I have some footage of the very end game sort of thing where you can see like my full build. But it's really fun, this game. I'd recommend it. I got it free on Epic. I mean, Torchlight 2 was free on Epic. I was playing this in preparation for playing Torchlight 2 with a friend. I wanted to play through the first game just to get an idea.
Yeah, this doesn't have multiplayer, does it?
No, so I believe Torchlight 1 is completely single player.
Yeah.
And then Torchlight 2 is co-op multiplayer.
Yeah.
Also, do you know Torchlight 2 has a workshop on Steam? I didn't even know this until I started looking into Torchlight 1 respec. So so I'd say like Torchlight's like in between like a softcore and a hardcore ARPG.
Right.
I think the art style would lead you to believe it's a very like softcore ARPG, but it's more like
sort of, yeah.
There is some like. There's a lot of like stat balancing. Like I was playing a wizard, and like at some point I was like, I had like a mace that I needed to. It was like the mace of Cerebus. What is it called? Like the dog. How'd you pronounce it?
Cerebus.
Cerebus. And I needed it for my pet build to increase my pet damage, but it needed like 50. I needed like 50 strength. So like I want to build magic and defense, so I can, you know, increase my spells and not die as quickly. But I'm like, well, I need fucking. I'm a wizard and I'm building strength. And then I found a really cool bow. I found a really cool gun. And I was like, and now I'm gonna like put a bunch of gems into my gear. And now I've got I'm a wizard with a bunch of dexterity. So it's like it forces you to make like really interesting builds, and then.
Yeah, like it's like a proficiency system. Like you need.
So here you go. Here's the stat tree. So you've got like strength, dexterity, magic, defense, and you choose what you put stats into every level, and then you also level an ability. So I wanted to go pet build, so I put I think I've got summon imp, summon nether imp, so I could take the corpse of a fallen enemy and turn it into an imp as like a little pet that I could be with. So because there's like stat requirements on all the gear.
Yeah, like yeah. That's like proficiencies and those things. Like you need like this certain level of something to be able to use it.
I think I was playing on like hard because it was like if you've played an ARPG before, you should play on this difficulty. I definitely died a lot, sort of thing. Like I thought about playing it.
Oh,
on. Am I singing again?
Is that actually you singing?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not in game.
No, it's me singing. Like I think I was recording my mic as well accidentally. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's an old game now, so it takes a while to load some places. Like one thing I found was if there was lots of enemies on the screen, the game like definitely started to slow down, and definitely wasn't my system because I have quite a powerful system.
Yeah.
Like you'll see like in the boss fight, like there's like if there's more than I'd say if there's more than like 40 units on the screen, the game starts to lag pretty bad, sort of thing. So as someone Tony, game's got fishing in it. What more could you ask?
Yeah, I'll tell Michael about this. Definitely.
Tell him if he wants to do some fishing.
You caught nothing.
Yeah, I didn't really understand how the fishing game mini game worked, so I was like really confused.
What? I'm confused.
There's no fishing tutorial.
Huh?
I think I'm waiting for the big circle to go inside the little circle, but I thought maybe I had to get it when it just went in on it.
Interesting.
So that's really cool. So you can catch fish that heal you. You can catch fish that give you increased XP. There's fish that can turn. Everyone has a pet by default. You choose between 3. I chose the ferret and the goggles because I was like, oh, that's cool. Nice. There's 3 classes to choose from. There's that's a mimic. This game has mimics. So sometimes if you open a chest, they will turn into a monster and try and fucking murder you. Yeah. Maybe that's Matt singing. I don't know.
I like to think.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's environmental stuff. There's like explosive barrels, which I'm probably just going to hit with my melee weapon because I'm dumb. I'm still trying to learn the game.
Are you exploding barrels with oh my god.
Well, I'm using a staff. And staff is like the magic melee weapon, but I'm playing the alchemist, which is like the mage class of the game.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I was saying, how much health? Like, what? Like, it's just like 2, like a red and blue bar. Like, how much? How big of a pool of health and mana is there?
You increase it with gems, items, stuff like that. So you can always just increase it. Like, I think health gems are probably one of the best gems early game because you have such little health. I think you start with like probably like 100 health, 100 mana, that sort of stuff, and then so there's 2 main defensive stats. There's defense, which blocks a % of the damage you take. So if you get hit, it blocks a percentage of it. And then the health stat just increases your raw health, base health sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's how that works. And then I think strength is your melee damage or melee crit. Dexterity is your ranged crit. And then magic increases the damage of your spells. But it's like super interesting, like what sort of stuff you want to build and stuff. I feel like I spent more time in town than I did in the actual like mines and dungeon. I spent like more time just salvaging gear, putting gems, building gems. So the way, like one of the main things that you put your time dump into of like building and crafting gear is you salvage green items, which are like the basic magical items. You have to sell whites because they don't have any magical properties. You get 4 random magical items. You take them to town, you salvage them, and that gives you a gem. And then you put 2 of the same gem together, and then that upgrades the gem, and you keep upgrading that, and that gives you a better gem because obviously having a more powerful gem is better than having more gems usually, because of slot efficiency. You only have so many slots, so you'd rather have the most powerful gems in that slot, sort of thing. and then the gems have a certain attribute if they're in your armor or trinkets, and then they have a different stat if they're inside your weapon, for example. So it's very much like an old school ARPG. There's no teleport button back to you. You have to buy town scrolls, and that's how you teleport back to town. But it's not that bad. Like you get a lot of money. Like I was playing hard, and I had like loads of money. I never ran out of like TP
loads
scrolls.
Of money.
Also, your pet is an inventory, so you can just send your you can put stuff in your pet's inventory, and you can even send your pet back to town, and he will sell everything for you.
That's cool.
And then he'll come back and he'll heal himself, really cool. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I had a pet build as well. And one of the abilities I had was, I think it was called Minion Mastery or something. So it decreased my pet's travel time to town, because usually whenever he goes back to town, he's gone for like a couple of minutes, and then you don't have him fighting for you. So you have to like balance whether you want to keep fighting or you want to send your pet back to sell shit. But because I had Minion Mastery and I had that Mace of Cerebrus or whatever, when I equipped that, he basically instantly went to town and came back. So I could just send him back to town whenever, and it just immediately heal him, and it would immediately like just sell all the white items I picked up. And but that was because I spec so heavily into my pet builder, you know.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways you level up and you get new skills. So you can see my XP bar at the bottom. You just kill random mobs. That's your XP. Leveling up your level, that gives you a skill point, and that gives you a stat points to attribute. And then there's also legendary minions in the game. So these are like rare bosses, sort of like mini bosses. And every time you kill one, this gives you fame XP. And once you get enough fame, you level up your fame rank. So think like Chicken Chaser in Fable. You go to the next rank.
Chicken Chaser.
And then every time you level up your fame, you get a new title, and you also get a skill point. You don't get a bunch of stat points, and also there's level requirements for certain spells in the skill tree. So if you level up your fame, but you're not high enough XP level, you won't be able to purchase that until it kind of forces you to like either like just save your skill points or to just spec into other stuff. So you can't just like immediately fully spec into something early game sort of thing. You have to think about your build as you level up. Like especially if you're playing like a hardcore character, you'd really have to like choose whether you put points into like defensive stuff or offensive stuff, which I find really interesting. I'm somebody who likes playing like hardcore mode on games. Like I enjoy playing like hardcore Diablo 3, hardcore Minecraft, that sort of stuff. So I'm always thinking about this sort of stuff. Like if your pet takes enough damage, like if you look at the top left, he was kind of low there. Your pet can actually start fleeing, and he won't fight for you until you give him a health potion and heal him. Like you feed him health potions.
Okay, right.
So if you saw you see this guy with the orange glow. This is a legendary menu. So this is the guy I was talking about, where it will increase your fame rank, sort of thing. So this is kind of early game. Right. Like the story and the questing aren't that interesting. The thing I would say with Torchlight that makes it interesting is how you build your character. The main story of the game just pretty much sends you deeper into these mines until you get to like fortresses and stuff. And kind of like there's not really this game is very light on story, and I'm okay with that because I enjoy the gameplay. But basically there's like 3 quests, and then there's just different variations of those 3 quests. So there's one where you have to find some ember for this guy, which just sends you to a certain level to find it. There's a bot in town that basically just wants you to kill a random legendary minion every time you talk to him. And then there's also another one which is the main story, which is basically just to go deeper into the mines. But this is pretty much the most story is in the beginning, where you get like, it's like, oh, Brink's joining my party and stuff, and then very quickly it just becomes a lot more
kill more.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're looking for like a RPG with like a massive story and stuff, this isn't going to be the game for you.
Yeah. Well, I remember like that was the biggest part that people had when this game came out. Like it was like a solid game, but like the story didn't really like carry it in anyway. Like it's just like it's just there in the background.
I mean, for me, I was just like I wouldn't care about the story anyway, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it makes the world like way more interesting if the story is like compelling, or like, at least the world story is compelling. I think
it has like a little story, but it's a bit confusing. Like you meet a bunch of people in town, and then they're like getting corrupted. So you're trying to go deeper to cleanse this corruption, but then this guy just summons a demon, and I'm like, oh, okay. And that's kind of the end boss fight. It's just you fighting this demon.
It's like a Guild Wars 2 story, if you will.
Yeah.
But with less bollocks.
So this is like I recorded like super early game, and I was like, oh, you're only going to get to see like what it's like when you're playing early game. So I thought I would record some late game as well. So this is kind of this is like an end game character. I'm thinking I'm around level 30, 40 here probably, and this is pretty much this is like the last level before the end of the game. Like I didn't realize it at the time, but I have footage of the end boss fight of the game where you fight the big Diablo-esque boss. Like I don't even remember what he's called, but he's pretty much just the Diablo of this game. Yeah. So like here's an interesting thing that that the game didn't like point out. If you hold down Alt, it will show you like the tooltips of all the things that have dropped, which makes it a lot easier to like pick stuff up.
Oh.
That's super useful. Yeah. You can change your minimap to be off in the top right corner, or you can have it on the screen. Like I know a lot of people like to have it on the screen in like Path of Exile. They find this way of looking at the map really useful. I use this just when I need to figure out where I'm going, so I can see the whole map, so I can figure out which way I haven't been yet to find where I'm supposed to go.
This as well.
And then I usually put it back into the corner.
I like this map though.
Or how it looks. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I want some of those stairs in my house. Jesus Christ, those are nice.
Dragons are really the dragons are super annoying because they can just like one shot you if you're in like an enclosed place.
They look like Pokemon though. I'm not a big fan of the dragon style.
You can also switch between weapons on the fly. Like you can carry 2 weapons. So I'm carrying my mace I was talking about, an axe here as well. And then, which increases all my pet damage. And then if like an enemy's far away and it's too dangerous, because these are both melee weapons, it means I have to get into close range to attack people.
Right.
But this is if there's an enemy that's very dangerous and could one-shot me, I'll switch to my rifle and start shooting him from afar. There's so much I could talk about in this game that would mean nothing to you until you've played it. I'm just like, oh, that was fucking dangerous. I'm out of there. Sort of thing. But I'll quickly go through my build. So initially I did have so you can learn from the skill tree, and you can also teach yourself 5 spells. Here I die, so it shows you what happens when you die. So you can choose to resurrect where you stand, but you will lose experience and fame. This is particularly useful if you're very deep and you haven't set a town portal recently. So that you would have to run back through a bunch of enemies again. That's where it'd be useful. If you can resurrect at the entrance of the floor, so you'd have to run all the way back, but you would only lose gold. And then if you don't want to lose anything, you can choose to resurrect in town, where you'd have to run the entire way, sort of thing. So that's kind of how you choose how you want to break down the death punishment, which is pretty interesting. So my spells I chose, obviously I'm a pet build, so I have Summon Skeleton, switch Summon a Skeleton. One thing I find really cool is as the Skeleton spell gets better, by leveling up your Charm skill, you can increase your Charm spells. So Charm spells are basically summoning pets, but once your pets get to level 6, they go from being normal skeletons, they then become skeletons with shields and frost swords, you can see here. You summon more archers, and then they get like. I love how the character model changes when they get more powerful. I find that small stuff really cool. So me here, I'm summoning skeleton archers. I've got some zombies. I'm summoning a flaming sword. I've got a golem, and then I've got a beam golem as well, which is another golem you can have. And then my other skills are, if you see number 2, that basically is like bloodlust for all of my minions, so that increases all their attack speed. The 3 ability is raises their defenses, and it reflects all their damage as a percentage. So if there's an enemy hitting really hard and they hit your pets, it's going to reflect tons of damage back to them. And then my 4 and 5 is 4 is a blink, just if I'm in danger. These are kind of like 1-point wonders, 4 and 5, because I think even though I was speccing into lore, which is the pet build kind of tree, I also spec into the other tree. Like I spec'd into adventurer a bit, because adventurer basically increased. So I show it here. So adventurer here, this is the arcane tree, but I spec'd into adventurer because it gave me a passive 20% increased XP, 20% increased fame, and then 80% potion efficiency, which is really, really good. I'd recommend spec'ing into adventurer because that's really going to help you level, and that's really going to help you get the most out of your potions, so you don't have to buy really expensive potions. Then I went into 3 points into the casting mastery as well. Advanced spell casting, because that gave me passive mana regen, and it removed the level requirements on the spells you can buy from the merchant. I put 1 point into the Ember one because I just wanted to try it out, and you could cast it as an off spell on a non-arcane build, which I was doing. But yeah, I just put 1 point and see what it does. But you can see I'm heavily spec'd into the Thorned Minions, Pet Mastery, Charm, and then I had Ember Phase just as a blink to get away from enemies, and then my number 5 is basically a 1-point wonder for a fear. That's what it is. So 4 and 5 are my panic buttons. I fear everything around me, and then I blink away because I'm really, really fucking squishy. My entire build is putting power into my pets. Like, I feel like I'm the NPC and my pets are the player in my build, basically, because of how powerful they are compared to me. But I eventually I get to the final. I'll show the final boss fight quickly, and then we'll end the Tangerine. So that was like a mini boss where he taunts you, and then you go down into this area. And is this Odrak? That might be his name. So he's like this giant demon thing. It's basically like a Diablo sort of thing, and you kind of fight him. So I was having my pets fight him, and he was summoning a bunch of dragons, which dragons are a fucking pain in the ass. They're one of the most annoying enemies in the game because they got a lot of health, and their fire breath deals a lot of damage. So I'm summoning tons of pets, and then eventually he starts summoning a tons of pets. So it's just like I didn't even know I was going to beat this or not because it gets really close on this, and then it starts like lagging and stuff. So I'm just like trying to keep jumping away so I don't die. Here I'm like clutch giving my pet potions so he stops fleeing and can fight again. So I'll show like where he summons a bunch of dragons. And then he starts summoning these green skeletons as well. So I got him to half health here, Odrak, but then I think once he gets past half health, this is when he starts summoning the really fast green skeletons, and these are really hard to deal with, sort of thing. See, look, I'm getting like swarmed here, and this is where like my FPS is like hitting the floor, and I'm like, shit, fear, blink, fear, blink, and I'm just to cast a spell, you have to stand still. So I'm like blinking away, trying to summon more minions and then run away and just keep popping health potions and hoping I don't run out, sort of thing. Just to try and desperately to kill the boss, sort of thing. But yeah, this is a really intense fight. Like, I wish I could show you the whole thing, but we're already like 43 minutes on the Tangerine, so we're gonna run out of time. But yeah, I do end up killing the boss here. It's a pretty fucking epic fight. So but yeah, I really love this game. I cannot highly recommend this game enough. Like, it's an old game, but if you like ARPGs and you're not really bothered about a pretty weak story, this game has character building. You can play however you want to play, and it's really fucking fun. Like stat balancing and RPGing, and just playing around. Like, it's an old game, but it's a fun single player game, sort of thing.
I think seeing this makes me want to play it more. Like, I think it'd be great if it had a good story as well, but I don't think it needs it necessarily. I think it is a weakness, but yeah, I think it does look really good fun. There's like so many mechanics I like. The
I
idea
didn't
of,
even
so,
go into like
like,
half the things of like legendaries giving you like cool stats, like building it, and then there's also like you can also get set bonuses from gear as well, like standard kind of Diablo stuff.
right.
You can even get gear that has XP gains on it, and then you can turn it into an heirloom and give it to like a. If you wanted to make another character, you can basically build like leveling gear for like another character to like level them up a lot quicker. Like there's tons of really interesting stuff you can do, and there's tons of replayability as well. So definitely check out Torchlight, especially if you own it and haven't played it yet, because it's lots of fun, and I probably will be playing Torchlight 2 at some point as well. So yeah, that's Tangerine. Goodbye.
Bye.